Today on The Spot, it's Labor Day weekend, and to celebrate, we're giving you a double dose of our daily demo with a look at Blur and Muramasa, the Demon Blade on the Wii.
I like how the dude on the boat's just chilling. He's like, it's cool.
We also give you the lowdown on what's new this week on PlayStation Network, and we dig around the web to bring you some of the most eclectic videos out there. Kevin Van Ord gives us early impressions of Champions Online in a new segment we call Under Review. All that in a Muramasa wall scroll. Today on The Spot.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Today on The Spot. I'm your host, Chris Waters, joined once again by Lark Anderson.
We're back again.
That's right, folks. Now, some of you who have been watching regularly may wonder where folks like Brian Eckberg, Sophia Tong, Sean McInnes, where have they all gone to?
We've actually taken over.
Is the answer to that question. Hosting hat trick.
Yeah, actually we're just filling in right now for the crew while they're out at the Penny Arcade Expo. And on another completely unrelated note, if you happen to know of a good place to stash a body or three, just go ahead and send us a note at onthespot@gamespot.com.
That's not Lark.
And be sure to include your contact information so we can, contact you.
Okay, all right. So now that we've, this is the part where we have a boisterous newsman make all that badness go away. Tor Thorson's got today's latest headlines.
Hey everyone, it's your 100% profanity-free GameSpot news update for Saturday, September 5th. I'm Tor Thorson. Do you like reality TV? Do you own a PlayStation 3? Do you want to be paid to play video games? Well then, you're the target demographic for The Tester, a new, wait for it, reality show being put together by Sony. According to the official PlayStation blog, the console maker is currently casting sad individuals who will die alone, select gamers to try out. If selected, applicants will face off in a series of elimination challenges designed to test their mental toughness, endurance, and video game knowledge as they compete for a job working as a PlayStation game tester. Edgy youthful looks and mental instability are also a plus. In other news, analysts are already making predictions about sales of Grand Theft Auto episodes from Liberty City, the $40 disc which has both Grand Theft Auto 4 expansion packs, The Lost and the Damned, and The Ballad of Gay Tony. Michael Pachter, the media's go-to game industry cognoscenti, believes the $40 disc will sell between 2.25 and 2.75 million copies when it drops on October 29th. And that's not including Xbox Live sales of The Ballad of Gay Tony, which has one of the most awesome trailers ever. Boys, hit it!
Thanks for that, Tor. Now it's off to see what's new in the world of the PlayStation Network.
This week on the PlayStation Network, there's been a few updates in the full downloadable games department. The NBA 2K10 Draft Combine for $49.99 allows you to create a custom NBA Draft hopeful who is going through the NBA Draft Combine in Chicago's Attack Gym. You can then use the player if you got a copy of NBA 2K10 in the full game to continue your journey in becoming the next Kobe Bryant. Up next, Capcom's Super Pack, which contains 7 of Capcom's best PlayStation Network games and DLC for $49.99. The pack includes Super Street Fighter II Turbo HD Remix, Flock, Age of Booty, 1942, Wolf of the Battlefield Commando, Super Puzzle Fighter II Turbo HD Remix, Rocketman Axis of Evil with the It Came From Uranus pack included. If $49.99 is a little rich for your blood, there is another Capcom pack for $29.99 that features 4 of the 7 Capcom titles found in the Super Pack. Also new this week for full download is Patapon for $15.99. If you missed it the first time around, Patapon, one of the most beloved PSP games, is essentially a rhythm game that goes with the tried and true gameplay of timing button presses with the on-screen commands at the correct time. Capcom rounds out the downloadable games section with Fate Unlimited Codes. The action game gives you multiple characters complete with unique moves and a weapon-based fighting system. Based on the popular anime, Fate Unlimited Codes puts you in a small town where the 7 pairs of masters and servants battle for the Holy Grail, which will grant them any wish. For $29.99, the full download of Fate Unlimited Codes is available now. In the game demo department, a new Fight Night Round 4 demo hit the PlayStation Network this past week. The demo allows you to try out new boxers as well as experience the Final Tune game with the addition of the button configuration and a body punch spamming exploit fix. Lastly, for this week's new demos, as mentioned before as a full game, a free demo of the NBA 2K10 Draft Combine is also available for download. New add-on content available this week, which includes a Fear 2 Project Origin Reborn map pack. featuring 4 brand new single-player maps and this additional downloadable content campaign, which lets you play through the environments as a replica soldier in Fear 2 Reborn. Finally, in the game trailers department, new clips for Crash Commando, new recruits, Gravity Crash, King of Fighters 12, and NBA 2K10 all posted this week. Well, that's all the time we have. Be sure to check GameSpot.com and PlayStation.com to see what's new this week on the PlayStation Network.
All right, there's a look at what's available for download on PSN this week. But if you're hankering for something a little more substantial, we're going to swing it back over to the retail realm. Lark, tell us what we got today.
Well, the other day, Activision stopped by to give us a preview of their new arcade racing game, Blur. So to check that out, let's go see the first of our daily demos.
Hey, what's up everyone? Brian Ekberg here, and I'm joined by associate producer with Activision Lippo, and we are talking about Blur, a racing game from Activision and developer Bizarre Creations. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Well, we're happy to have you here because we're excited about Blur. Obviously, this game is from Bizarre. They're well known for racing games, but this takes racing in a different direction, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're bringing the fun back to racing. That's what Blur is all about. The game is going to be really accessible for everybody, and this is the first game from Bizarre, and we're really excited to have them aboard.
Excellent. So let's jump right into the game. Our friend Sean McInnes is actually playing the game off screen. We're taking a look. Tell me about all this stuff. There's a lot going on here. What's happening and where are we?
Yeah, so this race right here, right now, he's driving the BMW M3, and right there he ran through a Fandom Man and told him to look for a hidden nitro. He's in 10th place right now, but he's never out of the race. Oh, he just got hit by a barge right there. And he's being targeted. He's chasing after other people right now.
So a lot of different power-ups in this game?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of different power-ups.
Okay.
He just used a nitro right there. Nitro is this kind of quick speed burst of speed that will get you right back in the race. He just picked up a barge right there, so if there's a guy next to them, he can elbow them to the side or knock them into the water. And
I noticed that your car has a health meter in this game. What's that all about?
yeah, so every car actually does have a health meter. Health is important in the game because if you run out of health, your car is wrecked. Once your car is wrecked, you're out of the race. And so what he can do to replenish that health is to drive through these repair zones, and that will replenish his health in addition to replenishing any shields that he may have used up until this point in time.
Which actually brings me to my next question. Shields. Everybody has weapons, but you've also got shields to defend against that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the power-ups that we have in the game are the more offensive types, and so in order to defend against that, you have shields. So it's kind of, Blur racing is almost kind of like a regular sport, where there's this balance of offense and defense.
So obviously this game is sort of has an arcade bent to it, but these are real-world cars, right? These are licensed cars. Tell me about some of these.
Yeah, we have 50 plus real-world licensed vehicles from various manufacturers. We go from Nissans to Toyotas to Audis to Fords. We'll have the muscle cars. We have the Japanese import cars. We also pay homage to all these different car cultures like smooth and drift culture. All a great assortment and variety of cars.
And what can you do in terms of upgrades with your cars?
In regards to upgrades, you can actually purchase, it's kind of revolved around the power-ups. So you can purchase upgrades that will make your nitros a little more potent or certain other power-ups more potent. You can also purchase maybe this blogger upgrade that will give you a multiplier for whenever you gain fans. Fans are kind of the currency of the game. So the more fans you get, the more cash that they'll donate to you. And as you gain more fans, you will have greater access to this upgrade or that upgrade, as well as greater access to cars that you can purchase with the cash that you gain from fans.
One of the things about Blur is that it's not just get to the finish line first. There's a lot of different race types in this game. Tell me about some of them.
Sure. So as you said, it's not just about coming in first. It's really surrounding the player's experience.
Okay.
So there's a variety of different type of objectives that you can do in the game. We have checkpoint racing, where you just race from checkpoint to checkpoint. We have certain objectives where you're supposed to gain an X number of fans to progress. We have other types of races where your sole goal is to take out this guy or that guy. So there's definitely a huge variety of types of races to progress through the game, and not just coming first.
And that actually brings up another question about the characters in this game and the storyline. You've got sort of like a social networking thing that sort of frames the story, right? Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah. So the social network kind of starts off with one of the characters named No One. He's the guy. He's called No One because he's never won a race, and he brings you as the player into the scene with his quartet of other characters, like Carver, who's kind of this rich Hollywood Hills kid that has a chip on his shoulder. And then there's this other mentor type character called Reimer, who kind of takes you under his wing and teaches you the ropes. And that's where the scene develops. These guys start racing. It gets heard about on this social network, and other people from different locations start challenging you to see who's the best.
The last thing people always want to know, of course, is the different areas, the different locales that you'll be racing in.
Sure.
Tell me about that.
Sure. All the locales are based off of real-world locations. Of course, there's artistic
license
that was taken for those locations. We have areas in LA from downtown to the docks, San Francisco, Russian Hill, Sausalito, New York, Dumbo. We have areas like Hackney, London, Barcelona, Spain. We have locations in Japan as well. So it's really a global. A lot of different global locations.
Cool. Well, Lip, of course, the last question everybody wants to know is when's this game coming out and what platform?
Sure. This game is coming out on November 3rd in the US on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and the PC, and in Europe on November the 6th.
All right, Lippo, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate
problem.
it. If you want to know more about Blur, go to the Game Space on GameSpot.
All right, there's your early look at Blur. Now it's time for something new. It's a little bit different than what you've seen on the show thus far. But Lark, would you agree that we are on the internet right now?
Now and for all time.
Precisely. But we're not the only ones here.
No, we're not the only ones on the internet, but I like to think at least that we're the only ones that matter.
Fair enough. I mean, GameSpot does do a lot of awesome video content, but there's a ton of other cool videos out there that other people have created. So we wanted to share some of that goodness with you in this new segment we call Around the Web.
Around the Web is a quick look at some of the other videos out there since we can't cover everything. This is where we direct you towards some of those crazy, preposterous, and clever videos around the web. Now it might not always be obvious, but there is some sort of video game tie-in. Beatles Rock Band is almost upon us and the advertising spots are starting to appear. This particular ad uses some clever effects to help bring young Beatles to life as they stroll down the street to the tune of Come Together. If you've missed it so far, be sure to take a look on the site. Swedish band Reimderglage must have some fond memories of old school graphics. They use some amazing stop motion skills to bring this video and some old school gaming icons to life. This video is truly amazing and should be viewed in full to appreciate the 1,500 hours of positioning and photography that made it a reality.
Today we're going to talk about the PC game gun that I've made.
Now, here we have ingenuity at its finest. Ever wish you could sneak around the garage with a toy gun and have it correspond to your favorite first-person shooter? The wireless PC game gun could be the peripheral of your dreams then. A very creative and electronic-savvy entrepreneur has fused a toy gun, LCD, and a gyroscopic mouse to do just that. Don't believe us? Take a look at the videos over at blackhall.net. Now this one is a bit more straightforward, but interesting nonetheless. An interview with Orson Scott Card helps explain how his book Empire is tied to the video game Shadow Complex. He gives some interesting details of how he was able to collaborate to make the video game and the story stronger.
The world, but they don't. They come out of privately funded military.
That's it for Around the Web.
Since it's Labor Day weekend, we're queuing up a second game demo for you folks. This time we're taking a look at Muramasa, the Demon Blade, a stylish 2D action game for the Wii. Enjoy!
Hey everyone, Ryan McDonald here, and I am standing by with one of our demos today, and I've got Min Tran, who is the Associate Brand Manager working on Muramasa, the Demon Blade. Now, you were here, you've brought it, we're going to focus, you tell the folks at home a little bit about it, but you're going to focus on boss fights today, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So, for those of you who don't know what it is, Muramasa the Demon Blade is a 2D side-scrolling action adventure by the guys who made Odin Sphere. Yeah. Grim Grimora, Princess Crown, Vanillaware. These are awesome Japanese developers that we picked up. So we're really happy and excited to be showing the game off to GameSpot fans today.
No, yeah, we're definitely happy to have you here. And I guess I should mention right now at the top of our little demo segment, you should stick around to the end of the show definitely, because we'll be giving away not only a copy of the US Wii version of Muramasa, but also now you're saying this is like the only one in America right now, right?
Yeah.
This is the Japanese version, and it also is signed by
George Kamitani, the lead designer and founder of Vanillaware.
That's awesome. So yeah, that's a big come up, and plus we got some awesome wall scrolls. So, but before we get to that, let's go ahead and jump into the game and check it out, shall we?
Sure, no problem. So what I'm going to show off right now is one of the boss fights. And let me turn on the Wii.
You were telling me before this is actually about halfway through the game, is that right?
Yeah. So this is so in the game itself, it follows two characters, Kisuke and Momohime. So what I'm going to play right now is Momohime. She's a princess who's been possessed by a foul demon swordsman. And this particular boss is called Raijin, and she uses a lot of lightning attacks and that kind of thing. Now these boss fights can be very long and involved if you don't know what you're doing. So I'm going to show a few tactics that players at home can use. So when fighting air bosses, it's good to use air dash attacks, just because it lets you fight them in the air. So I'm going to use a lot of those. Dashing down attacks, or you can just go in and slash at them. So my sword just broke right there, so now I got to switch to another one. And also did a full screen attack, because its soul power, the thing which governs sort of your sword health, was at full strength. I also have these special attacks I can use on her. I'm going to switch this sword.
Yeah, it looks like all kinds of magic attacks going on.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You almost got it.
There you go. Booyah. I'm going to keep juggling her a little bit, work up my combo meter.
A little bonus.
So now I received a special sword. So this game is also a little bit like, the Metroidvania kind of games, and that this sword now allow me to access areas that I previously couldn't.
So now you get to go back a little bit, you can backtrack,
Yeah, you can totally backtrack, go to areas that you previously visited before.
Super awesome.
That kind of thing.
Now you're going to show us one more awesome boss fight. This one's the tricky one to find, right?
Yeah, so this is something that I don't think anyone's ever seen in motion. At least we just found out about it 2 days ago, about how to access this particular secret part. It's a special mini game that occurs when you cross one of the seas. So there are boatmen throughout the game that let you travel to different areas. And sometimes this octopus comes out of the sea and attacks you. So this is exclusive for GameSpot viewers right now. I'm going to fight the sea bronze, the big octopus of the sea. So normally it takes a very special, very sort of roundabout way to access it. I'm not going to show you how to do it, but I'll just show you what happens when you fight it. It's sort of a special mini game that you get to play. So I'm just going to go to... And I have not beaten it at all, so you won't see me beat it for sure.
There's some huge creature living here. We got a storm and now a sea bronze too.
Whoa. I'm gonna try my best though.
Do it.
All right. So what's fortunate is, I keep falling in the sea and the tentacles are on the right side. I only have 60 seconds to do this too.
Oh, there's one.
Oh, and he broke my sword. I do not think I'm gonna do this.
The water animation is awesome. You have got to get out of the water.
Let me switch swords. I got one. Oh, do I?
I like how the dude on the boat's just chilling. He's like, it's cool. Me and the octopus are down.
15 seconds, can I do it? Oh man, all right, now it's going crazy. And I just broke all my swords.
Out of swords?
Yes, I'm totally done. I have to wait for them to heal. But I don't think it's...
Right on.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you do win this particular battle, you get something special, but can't show it today. anyways, that's it.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much. The game is Muramasa Demon Blade. It is out on Tuesday, is that correct?
Yes, Tuesday the 8th.
And we don't go away, though, because stick to the end of the show. We'll be giving away copies of not only the US version, but also the Japanese version that is signed, as well as some wall scrolls. So thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, and continue with the show.
Now, if you like the look of Muramasa, you're going to love our trivia prizes today. We've got 2 North American retail copies of the game to give away, as well as 4 Japanese copies that are all signed by the founder of Vanillaware. We've also got some wall scrolls that feature the gorgeous art from the game. So let's get this trivia train rolling. For one of the 4 signed Japanese copies, we've got a 2-parter. What was Vanillaware's first game, and what system was it for?
For one of the North American copies of the game, Muramasa has often been compared to which Taito classic arcade/NES title?
And for one of the wall scrolls, what was Muramasa's original Japanese title? All right, send us your answers using the Submit Answer button on the page, or send us an email at onthespot@gamespot.com. All right, now before we go, we've got one more quick segment for all you aspiring heroes out there. Earlier this week, the superhero-themed MMO Champions Online launched, and Kevin Van Ord's been playing it since day one. In this next little bit, he's going to share some of his early impressions from the game in a segment we like to call Under Review.
Like with most massively multiplayer games, we'll be spending dozens of hours with Champions Online before we're ready to deliver our final verdict. However, between now and then, we wanted to give you a taste of the early game and let you know how this superhero MMO was shaping up around launch time. And honestly, Champions Online is off to a bit of a shaky start. Nevertheless, the game is colorful and it can be a lot of fun. So if you played City of Heroes or City of Villains, this may be your logical next step on the MMO circuit. If you did play either of Cryptic Studios' superhero MMOs, you won't be surprised to learn that Champions Online features possibly the most comprehensive character creation tools ever seen in a game of this type. If you can dream it, chances are the game will let you build it. Make an enormous flying lizard or a standard superhero type in tights, or anything else you can think of. The customization isn't limited to just costumes, however. You can select one of many hero archetypes or customize your own. There's an impressive amount of flexibility here, and you might spend hours just creating your hero. This aspect of Champions Online is notably terrific. Once you're ready to show off your original creation, you're whisked into Champions Online's tutorial area where you can get used to your starting powers. Many powers can be charged, so the longer you hold the button, the more damage you do, but the more energy you consume. You won't have any travel powers like flying or super jumping at this point, but you won't need to wait long. You can purchase one as soon as you're done in the tutorial. The starting bit is a bit boring, but it ends with a cool boss battle that's best taken on with a team, and from here, you're off to the desert. Within the first 15 levels, you'll spend time in the desert, the Canadian wilderness, and Millennium City. From here, you'll start taking on quests and beating up baddies as you would in most MMOs. Because you can block, charge powers, and have to tap a button to break free from holds, Champions Online is more action-packed than your standard MMO, and again, it's more flexible. You can mix and match powers from various archetypes if you want without needing to stick to a narrow path. Once you get into the swing of things, you'll appreciate how much fun battles can be and how colorful they look. Champions Online has a vibrant color palette and lots of interesting details. The downside to all this flexibility is that Champions Online feels a little bit unbalanced. This is particularly true in team-based player versus player arena matches, where a team spamming hold powers and mini-mines is hard to counter. If you get super creative and trying to stay true to your concept, you'll probably want to just stay away from PvP entirely. You may also have more trouble when questing than you would have expected. A major unannounced Day 1 patch completely rebalanced combat in a way that makes conceptual heroes even less effective. As a result, the game feels a lot more like your everyday MMO than it did in beta and during the advance weekend. The patch also caused some other issues, including one that rendered our existing character unplayable and forced us to create another. Other foibles included extended downtime 2 days after launch and an assortment of bugs like control schemes that reset themselves. We've also run into more lag than you'd expect, even for an MMO at launch. Nevertheless, launch issues are a massively multiplayer staple, and Champions Online has many of the elements you'd want in a superhero MMO. We're not ready to deliver our review verdict just yet, since there's a lot more to see. Still, in spite of some buggy behavior and launch oddities, Champions Online offers a good first impression, and we're anxious to see what's in store for us in the mean streets of Millennium City.
Well, there you have it, folks. Today on the spot for Saturday, September 5th. Check back with us for our next new episode, which will air Thursday, September 10th.
And be sure to check out our coverage of the Penny Arcade Expo going on this weekend and vote in the greatest game hero competition for Solid Snake.
No, enough of this Solid Snake propaganda, dude. Gordon Freeman.
No.
Gordon Freeman, the free man. All right, for everybody here today on the spot, I'm Chris Waters.
And I'm Lark Anderson.
Have a great weekend, folks.
Hey everyone, it's your 100% profanity-free GameSpot news update for Saturday, August 5th. September. Hey everyone, it's your 100% profanity-free GameSpot news update for September. Hey everyone, it's your 100% profanity-free GameSpot news update for Saturday, August 5th. I did it again, August. I don't know why.